So will his newest target, rookie wide receiver Xavier Worthy, who ran the fastest 40 in the history of the Combine. With that and other additions, Dan, can Mahomes and this offense be even better this season?
Well, it can't be worse, Greeny. You know, they won the Super Bowl last year because of their defense and then timely play by Patrick. But the addition of speed is the big element. Rashee Rice will still hopefully be there for their football team, but Xavier Worthy and the addition of Hollywood Brown give this offense what they didn't have last year, the ability to be explosive.
It is, Damian Woody, it is not an exaggeration. It's not hyperbole to say Xavier Worthy is faster than Tyreek Hill. That doesn't mean he's better than Tyreek Hill. Almost no one is better than Tyreek Hill, but he is literally faster. So what does that mean for this offense?
Greeny, you can't teach speed. That's the one thing that scares defenders at night. And so when you have players like a Xavier Worthy, a Hollywood Brown, they be able to stretch the defense, guess what it does? It helps other players around them. Travis Kelce would be the biggest beneficiary in those intermediate routes that Patrick Mahomes loves to go to him on.
What do you think? Could this go from being a weakness to a strength, Dan?
I mean, look, it's degrees of things with the Chiefs, right? They're excellent. They're going to be the favorites for good reason, offense or not. But, they need to figure out left tackle still. Xavier Worthy, exciting player, but there's not a ton of history of rookie receivers hitting it big right away in that Andy Reid offense. So I think it could progress as the season goes along, but I am not worried about the Chiefs. I mean, the question is, are the Chiefs going to be good? Yeah, I think the Chiefs are going to be good.
Chiefs are going to be good.
I feel really good about that prediction.
Yeah, the question
Andy Reid's still the coach, Patrick Mahomes still the quarterback.
Are they going to become the first team ever to win 3 straight Super Bowls? That's really the question there. Let's go to East Rutherford, New Jersey, where Giants rookies will report today. And among them, the 6th overall pick, that's another wide receiver. That's Malik Nabers. And Orlovsky, it's a lot to put on a rookie, but the question is this: can he save Daniel Jones' career?
Well, he's got to make him something he's never been. That's dynamic and explosive at that position. Greeny, we're talking about Daniel Jones as the quarterback spot. He's thrown for over 15 touchdowns once in his career. That was his rookie season in 2019. He's never thrown for more than 3,200 yards. So Malik Nabers coming off of the college season when he averaged 17 yards per catch. It's not save his career, make Daniel Jones to be something he's never been in the NFL. Really good.
You know, D. Wood, I think about the addition of Malik Nabers. I think about the departure of Saquon Barkley, and I personally can't get that out of my head. What do you expect from this Giants offense led by Daniel Jones?
Well, I mean, first it'd be nice if Daniel Jones stays on the field healthy. I think as much as we talk about Malik Nabers and we know how dynamic he is, I think everything's going to be dependent on this offensive line that the Giants have right now, because they've invested heavily in this line over the years, and it just hasn't happened, hasn't done anything quite well. Those guys have to protect. They got to get it going up front, because that's going to be the key for Daniel Jones, is being able to be protected.
Yeah. They invested a lot in the offensive line over the years. They brought in some sort of lower-cost pieces they think are going to help on the line this offseason. Malik Nabers, the most exciting player Daniel Jones has ever played with. And I say that with full respect to Saquon Barkley, because it just never really connected with Saquon and the Giants. This makes them a different-looking team. If Daniel Jones can stay on the field and get that player the ball, it's exciting.
Yes, if you've been watching Hard Knocks, you are well aware that Joe Schoen, the general manager, wants you to know that he was never going to pay a running back anything near the amount of money that Saquon Barkley wound up getting paid. Right. God bless him in Philadelphia. We'll see how all of that goes. Now, one more for you to kick off the morning here. It is reporting day for Caleb Williams and the Bears rookies. We think, I'll explain that in a moment, but first, Orlovsky, let's live in a world where everything works out great here with the contract, and we'll cover that in a moment. Do you think the Bears can make the playoffs in Caleb's rookie season?
Everything's got to go right for them. They can play meaningful games into December, which is a huge win for this organization. It's going to come down to 3 things. Number 1, Keenan Allen's got to stay healthy. Number 2, Rome Odunze's their top 10 wide receiver pick. Got to play like a top 10 wide receiver. And then Caleb's really going to have to understand the nuance of balance in the NFL and kind of being that patient quarterback, because when you're a dynamic playmaker at any level and you're used to that style, and then teams and defenses specifically say you're not going to play that way, it's very difficult for competitive people, who Caleb is, to fall into that. And I think that's going to be where the greatest growth is going to have to come from Caleb.
Yeah, you got the quarterback, and then Odunze. There were scouts that we heard from who thought he was the best receiver in this class, ahead of Harrison and ahead of Nabers. Obviously, all that remains to be seen. I sort of hinted at the idea that there could Like the rookies are reporting today.
Yeah.
Do we expect to see the quarterback and the star receiver there?
Look, neither Caleb Williams nor Rome Odunze has signed his contract yet. In the offseason for OTAs and minicamp, you can sign a waiver and participate as a rookie, even if you haven't signed your rookie contract. That is not the case for training camp. If they don't have signed contracts, they cannot be in the building after training camp starts. They have to sign a contract before they can go. So we'll see. I checked in on this yesterday. I was told no issues, no drama, nothing to worry about. This will get taken care of. But again, they're reporting today, and as far as we know, there's no contract signed yet. So as of now, they're not allowed to be there.
I like how you literally checked your phone to see if there was a text.
I did. Something buzzed, but that was not it.
But I mean, look, I'm old enough to remember when we thought we had solved this problem, right? We went to these slotting and system, and we were not supposed to have this issue.
Right. So everybody knows what the contract's going to be. Caleb Williams not using an agent, so you can understand why maybe that might take a little bit longer to spell out. But yeah, it's a strange situation. Again, yesterday afternoon when I got home from this show, sent some texts, got him back. Nothing, no issue, nothing to worry about. So we'll see. I mean, presumably that means it's about to happen.
Right, I don't want to make a big deal about this on July 16th.
Yeah, exactly. He's not signing anywhere else.
Right. That's right. He's not demanding a trade. So you know, if we're a week or two down the road, and then we'll worry about that then. In the moment, let's live in a world, D. Wood, where they do have those guys. How good do we expect this team? It's a fascinating scenario here. I have no idea what to expect from this team. They closed so strong on defense last year. They bring in this high-profile quarterback. They bring in a couple of other pieces, including the rookie and the veteran receiver. How good do you expect this Bears team to be, D. Wood?
Well, listen, I expect them to be contending for a playoff spot towards the end of the year. I think there's a couple things when you talk about the Bears. Number one, can this defense pick up where they left off in the latter half of the season where they were the number one scoring defense in the league? Obviously, what's the transition going to be like for Caleb Williams? I mean, I don't know if a number one pick that's been set up for success better than Caleb Williams coming into the National Football League. And I think Dan hit it on the head as well. A guy like Keenan Allen, who is such a QB-friendly wide receiver, he needs to be healthy in order to help Caleb Williams' growth into the National Football League. So I think you look at the combination of those things, they'll have an opportunity to compete. But listen, the NFC North is one of the toughest divisions in football. Think about it. You got the Lions who are here, the Green Bay Packers who are here. Okay, and we can't dispel the Minnesota Vikings as well. So this is a very, very tough division.
Go ahead, Danny.
Best situation a rookie quarterback that went number one in the draft has ever been in. We've talked about that all offseason. In regards to can they make the playoffs, realistically, they got to get to their bye sitting 4-2 and get to Thanksgiving sitting 6-3. I mean, if you look at their first 9 or 10 or so games, you can sit there and go, okay, can they get to the bye 4-2 and maybe say Houston and the Rams, those are really difficult games. But I think their other 4 games, Tennessee, the Colts, the Panthers, those are winnable. And then they get to the bye and they have the Commanders, the Cardinals, and the Patriots. Can they rip off 3 straight in that situation? Because if you look at their final 8 games, you could realistically sit there and go, can you find 2 for me? Can you find 3? Those final 8 games are absolutely brutal stretch-wise. So, Greeny, to your question, can they make the playoffs? They can, but they got to get to Thanksgiving sitting at like 6-3 for them to make a realistic run with the back half of that schedule.
Start fast with the young players, which is obviously not easy to do. It's not inconceivable. Quickly, Dan, from a quarterback perspective, everyone in Chicago will look you directly in the face and recite this stat right off the top of their heads. They have never had a quarterback throw for 4,000 yards. The Decatur Staleys didn't have a quarterback throw for 4,000 yards in the late 1920s before they became the Chicago Bears. Is this kid going to be the first one to do it, and can he do it this year?
I don't see it this year, no. Number one, Shane Waldron, their offensive coordinator, comes from we want to be balanced and run the football situation, the Sean McVay, Kyle Shanahan tree. Number two, there's only been 5 quarterbacks to do it as rookies. Cam Newton, Andrew Luck, Jameis Winston, Justin Herbert, C.J. Stroud. And a lot of those guys had a little bit more of we want to chuck it up and down the field type of mindsets. I don't think that's going to be the scheme. It's a defensive-minded head coach. Now, C.J. did it last year, but he did it by 100 yards. So it's a rarity to be able to do it. Can he? Yes, I do not think that's going to be the style that's suited for Chicago this season.
Yeah, I look at particularly the Herbert comparison, right? That stuck out to me because when I spoke with Bears GM Ryan Poles this offseason and asked him, were there any moves you made that once you decided it was going to be Caleb, that now you're making a move about him? And he said, yeah, Keenan Allen. Because of what Keenan Allen was for Justin Herbert in Herbert's rookie season with the Chargers. So I'm not necessarily saying that equates to the same level of passing volume, Dan, but I think like they're looking at that as a specific helper for the rookie quarterback because of his track record doing just that.
Yeah, two things real quick. One, he's thrown for 4,000 yards. I think once in college, Caleb did it, and he did it on 500 attempts. I don't see him throwing the ball 500 times in the NFL. And if you look at that list of the 5 guys have done it, I think really most of those guys did a ton in structure. Like CJ was in structure. Jameis was in structure. That's not necessarily the most glamorous aspect of Caleb's game.
Not all those guys had 17 games to do it either.
But fair enough. That's another good point. Very quick final word, D-Wood. Go, quick.
Yeah, listen, I don't think it's going to have for 2 reasons. One, Shane.
Hello, passionate Kansas City Chiefs fans. Here I am with the latest news that will shake up your day. Today, let's dive into Patrick Mahomes' response to being ranked number 1 among NFL quarterbacks. Get ready for a candid and energizing analysis of what this means for the Chiefs' future. Patrick Mahomes, our phenomenal quarterback, is no stranger to being at the top. Recently, an ESPN poll conducted by coaches, executives, and scouts crowned Mahomes as the number 1 QB. And it's well-deserved, with an impressive track record of 3 Super Bowls in 5 seasons, including 2 consecutive wins and MVP honors in all those finals. Mahomes not only dominates the game, he redefines expectations. ESPN's Jeremy Fowler led this ranking, and the Kansas City Chiefs' reaction was immediate. In a tweet full of pride, the franchise proclaimed, "QB1 strikes again. Congratulations, Patrick Mahomes." And Mahomes' response? Direct and confident. "Let's keep rolling." This shows not only our leader's humility, but also his relentless determination to maintain the standard of excellence. Argumentation, but let's go beyond the numbers. Mahomes isn't just a name in rankings, he's an icon in Kansas City. His explosive playing style and unmatched skills have not only elevated the team, but also inspired an entire generation of fans. He embodies the passion and commitment that define the Chiefs. Now, looking ahead, what does this mean for us? With Mahomes at the peak of his game and hungry for more titles, we're on track for an exciting journey towards a 3rd championship. But as always, success isn't guaranteed. We need to stay focused, support our team, and be ready for every challenge that comes our way. And now, dear fans, I pose the question to you. How do you see the future of the Kansas City Chiefs with Patrick Mahomes leading the way? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Let's turn this conversation into a celebration of our love for the team and a space for exchanging ideas among us. Don't forget to leave your like, subscribe to the channel for more exclusive Chiefs updates, and hit the bell icon so you don't miss any details. Together, let's continue to support our team towards glory. Thank you for watching, and until next time, here on the Kansas City Chiefs channel.